Good morning. We are extremely pleased that you are here. It is good to come together for the purpose of co-creating. Do you agree?
Yes.
You are knowing what you are wanting?
Yes.
You are among the rare humans who are appreciating the contrast of your time and place? Your lips say yes. Do you think that your hesitation, or even the humor that bubbled up in response to that question, indicates just a little bit, maybe, that it's easier to offer a resounding yes, we appreciate the contrast of our time and place when there is not that much contrast? So that maybe what you really mean is, no, we don't like the contrast of our time and place, unless it is managed. In other words, if we can control the circumstance or the conditions of the contrast, then maybe, old wise one Abraham, we'll go along with you on your foolish question. But when there is true contrast, when there is something in my face that I really, really, really do not want, please don't ask me to appreciate the contrast of my time and place. And yet, we must ask you to appreciate the contrast of your time and place. Because even when contrast is exaggerated enough that it sets you off your balance, the alternative to contrast, which by the way could never be, would surely mean endedness. Because contrast is necessary for the eternalness. You understand that, don't you? It is out of the contrast that the new determinations or conclusions or desires are born. And without that new preference, decision, deciding, focusing within you leading edge creators out here on the leading edge of thought, then there would not be that birthing of desire, which is the summoning of source energy, which is the leading of all that is forward. Contrast produces the desire. The desire is the summoning thing. In other words, when you ask, it is given, and that's what that desire is. That's that vibrational asking that summons life force forward. Maybe it's because so many humans have seen non-physical or God or whatever it is you're wanting to call it as this concluded entity that somehow has achieved this ended perfection, as if that could happen anywhere in any universe, and that this now concluded perfection is now somehow waiting for you all to catch up. And when you do, then what? In other words, we've never really heard the end of that story as man has conjured it. When what is really happening is that source energy, whether you call it God or creative life force, it does not matter what title you give it, this source energy is eternally expanding, and you are extensions of that source energy out here on the leading edge of thought, pioneering the expansion. And so you said, I want to go forth into this time-space reality, and I want to acknowledge the variety, the differences of opinion, the differences of choice, the differences in belief. I applaud the difference. And from it, I will conclude my preference, and I will carve out for myself, through exposure to experience, preferences on a moment-to-moment basis. Cellular preferences, even full conscious human preferences will be born from me. And with each desire that emanates from me, you said this from your non-physical stance, you're still saying it from your non-physical stance, as these preferences emanate from me, the asking will occur. And you knew how wonderful that was because you knew something else. You knew that when any asking occurs, that there is immediate answering from source energy. So, as source energy is responding to your requests, anything that you desire from any place that you stand is answered. And so you knew there was no risk, there was no danger. You knew that you would never get it done, and you knew that you could not get it wrong. You knew that as the contrast provided the clarity of decision within you, and the question was asked, whether it was on your lips or just emanating from you vibrationally, as the majority of them are, that source energy would immediately answer. And you said, I will go forth under those conditions, and I will take thought along with my other friends beyond that which it has ever been before. Now here you are asking, and source energy is answering, and some of you are saying, but Abraham, there must be something screwy with that, because I am certain that I have asked for things that I have not received. And we say, well, now you're talking about the third part. The third part is, you must be a vibrational match to what you're asking for. Which means you cannot wallow in the contrast that has produced the desire and be a vibrational match to the desire at the same time, because step 1 and step 3 are very different steps. Can you hear what we are getting at here? In other words, let's say that you are moving through your experience and you notice that you do not have the abundance in terms of dollars that you want or need. Things are breaking down around you. You're needing to replace several things in your experience. As you look around your environment, you are inspired to desires that you cannot financially fulfill. And the more you move through your experience, the stronger that desire becomes. Emotions that move through you, you would describe as discouragement, some fear, maybe a little anger, daily frustration. And we say natural emotions, when there's something that you really want that you're not focused upon. In other words, you're focused upon where you stand instead of where you want to be. So you say to your friends, I'm just so worried about money. And we say, in those natural responses to where you stand, you are hardly a vibrational match to what you're asking for. And unless you are a vibrational match to what you're asking for, the process of creation cannot be completed. It would be like turning on your radio because your friend tells you that there's something wonderful to hear on 98.6, and you say, my radio is stuck on 102. Make it come to me. And your friend would say, oh, it's just a minor adjustment on your dial, really. You can put it back on 102 later if you want to. Just move it over there for a little bit. And you say, no, I like it where it is. This is what I'm used to listening to. It's what my mother listened to. It's what her mother listened to. It's what everybody I know listens to. This is what we listen to. This is the thought that I choose to continue to think. This is my habit of thought, or this is my belief, and so I will stay right here. And your friend says, oh, but there is such a delicious thing if you would just adjust your dial just a little bit. And you say, I like it where I am. The receiving mode is a vibrational adjustment that you will come to recognize as you pay attention to the way you feel. When you feel the emotion that you would describe as passion, or exhilaration, or exuberance, or eagerness, or joy, those high-flying, good-feeling emotions always mean that in this moment, there's a strong desire focused within you that you are in this moment a match to. When you feel strong negative emotion, like anger or fear, or strong depression, when you feel strong negative emotion, it always means that there is something very much wanted that is within your vibration, but that the thought that you're thinking right now, and therefore the vibrational countenance that has come in response to it, is a vibrational mismatch to your desire. Because step 3 is so significant to you, and we say that because step 1 just happens. In other words, you can't be a product of a contrasting environment without desire being born within you. It is born within you. You knew it. You set that up even before you came forth into this body. You pre-paved that long before the essence of you took form in this physical flesh, blood, and bone. Step 2 isn't your work anyway. That's source energy responding to your desire. So what we would really like to impress upon you in a way that you will always remember it is that your work is about step 3. And it is so much about step 3 that we are calling our work about your step 3. We are calling this gathering the art of allowing. It is the work that you are about, learning little by little to allow the things that you have already decided that you want. The most important thing that you will gather from this day, we're going to tell you right now, and maybe a few hundred more times as we're together. And that is that step 1 is step 1. Step 2 is step 2, and step 3 is step 3. Let's recap. What we are saying to you is, you don't do step 1 and step 3 at the same time. In other words, your emphasis is upon step 3. If you will let your emphasis be upon step 3, everything else will take care of itself. And the reason that that is so important to understand is because when you are in the midst of the contrast that is producing a supersonic desire within you, that desire is like a rocket that shoots out of you in a flash. Because the contrast that has produced it is different from the desire that shoots out of you in the flash. So then your work is to bring yourself, every chance you get, into vibrational harmony with your desire. And that's what the art of allowing is really about. It's about feeling yourself through your mood or attitude and deliberately choosing thoughts and feeling them as you choose them until you feel your way into a good feeling place. We'll begin right here. Back row, if you'll stand. You'll be second. Right here, third. Come forward if you will.